Hi, welcome once again to our YouTube channel. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. Really appreciate you. It's nice coming along with us. Today we want to look at the 2025 Agric Science Practical. We want to quickly look at the specimen that Waec has released for this year's Agricultural Science Practical. So we'll talk about the specimens, we'll list all of the specimens, and then we'll discuss each of them one after the other. So first and foremost, we want to list out all of the specimens. So we are starting with specimen A. Specimen A, which happens to be ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. It is labeled ammonium sulfate, and our specimen B, we have it to be muriate of potash. The muriate of potash. Muriate of potash, which is also labeled. The third one, we have cow dung. Specimen C, we have cow dung. Cow dung. Our specimen D, we have compost, which is also labeled. Compost, labeled. And our specimen E, we have Cutlass. Specimen F, we have Spade. And specimen G, we have Wheelbarrow. Specimen H, we have yam beetle. Yam beetle is our specimen H, and our specimen I, we have Cowpea. We have Cowpea weevil. Cowpea weevil. As specimen J, we have the Centrosema pubescens. Centrosema pubescens. And our specimen K, we have our specimen K to be spear grass. Spear grass. Our specimen L is gizzard. Gizzard. We have a gizzard of chicken. Our specimen M is goat skin. Goat skin, which should be fresh with hairs intact. Fresh with hairs intact. And lastly, our specimen N should be horn. Our specimen N should be horn. So these are the list of specimens that we'll be looking at for this particular tutorial session. We'll start to talk about each of them one after the other. So come right along with us as we do so. So our first specimen, specimen A. Specimen A, we have it to be the ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate, which is labeled ammonium sulfate, which is labeled. So what do we know about ammonium sulfate? What do we have to say about ammonium sulfate? Ammonium sulfate, chemically written as the chemical formula is written as NH4,2SO4. NH4,2SO4. That is the chemical formula of this substance, because it contains ammonium and phosphate. It contains ammonium and phosphate. It's a versatile salt with various commercial uses. It is a versatile salt with various commercial uses. Most notably used as nitrogen fertilizer. Most importantly as nitrogen fertilizer, because it has high amount of nitrogen in it. It is able to provide nitrogen to plants, particularly when it is used as fertilizer to the plant. It has a white to yellowish gray crystalline color. So it is a white. It is characterized by white to yellowish gray crystalline texture. It is a white to yellowish gray crystalline salts. Yellowish gray crystalline salt, which is highly soluble in water. It's highly soluble in water. It contains 21% nitrogen and 24% of sulfur. Contains 21% of nitrogen and 24% of sulfur. This particular substance adds acidity to alkaline soils. The ammonium sulfate adds acidity because it's an acid compound, so it adds acidity to alkaline soils that are alkaline in nature, that are very, very high in pH. This particular substance adds acidity to them so as to make the soil suitable for the type of crop that is to be cultivated on it. So it adds acidity to alkaline soil by releasing its ammonium ions. By releasing its ammonium ions. That is how it actually does that. Application of this particular fertilizer can be done granularly. You can actually apply it as a granular fertilizer directly to the soil. Application now. Application. It can be applied as granular fertilizer. It can be applied as granular fertilizer directly to the soil. Fertilizer directly to the soil. It can be applied directly to the soil. Also, you can also dilute it before you apply it to the soil. It can also in water before applying to soil. Before applying it to the soil, you can actually do that as well. Now doing this now, it makes it look like a foliar spray. You apply it to the soil using a spray. This particular crop is this particular substance is specific to some crops. So crop specificity now. Crop specificity. It is suitable for various crops including cereals, crop specificity. It is suitable to various crops including cereals, vegetables, forage crops, etc. So it can be used for all of this. By providing necessary nutrients, it contributes to healthy plant growth and improve yield. So it contributes to healthy plant growth and improved yield. These are some of the things that we need to know about these crops. So it can be used on different types of soils, particularly when the soil is used to cultivate some crops. So we can already see what that is saying here now. So you can actually use it to cultivate cereals, vegetables, forage crops, etc. It has basically ammonium and sulfate in it. That's 21% of nitrogen and 24% of sulfur. This is what that particular substance we're talking about looks like. You can see it in this picture here. You can see it in the crystalline form. According to this picture, it is looking white. You can see it here also. It is crystalline in nature. This is what you are still talking about here. So that is what ammonium sulfate is looking like. We're looking at the muriate of potash. Muriate of potash. That is what you are looking at. So what do we have to say for this? When we talk about the muriate of potash, we're also talking about a type of fertilizer. It is a potassium salt. Muriate of potash, also known as potassium chloride, is primarily used also known as potassium chloride is primarily used as fertilizer. It's primarily used as fertilizer to provide potassium to plants. To provide potassium to plants. It is very, very important. And by doing this, it is aiding their growth and development. Aiding their growth and development. Potassium is an essential mineral. It is a macronutrient for plants, so it is very, very needed, and that is why a fertilizer like the muriate of potash is actually applied to them. It is soluble. It is a soluble fertilizer that is commonly used for crops like fruits, sugarcane, vegetables, etc. It is a soluble fertilizer. That tells us that it can actually dissolve. It is a soluble fertilizer that is used on crops like fruits, sugarcane, vegetables, etc. This particular muriate that we are talking about, muriate of potash, improves crop yield. We have said that earlier on. So it improves. So when it aids the growth and development, it will eventually lead to increased crop yield. So it improves crop yield. It improves crop yield and quality by promoting healthy root development. Crop yield and quality by improving proper root development. It improves proper root or healthy root development. It strengthens the stems as well as the cell wall, making them more resistant. Strengthens the stems and cell wall, making them more resistant to every type of adverse effects. It makes them more resistant to diseases and pests. Resistance to diseases and pests. It should also be noted that it helps plants to conserve water, making them more resistant to drought as well. It also helps them to conserve water, to resist drought. That is another function of this particular specimen, which is the muriate of potash. So it helps them to conserve water, and that makes them to be resistant to drought as well as stress. MOP can also improve soil healthy. It improves soil health by increasing the potassium available, and then promoting healthy root system. I've said that earlier. So primarily it is used in agriculture. It is primarily used in agriculture, but it can also be used in the production of detergents. But can also be used in the production of detergents. Yes, you can also use it in the production of detergents, ceramics, and ceramics, as well as water conditioners. Water conditioners. It can also be used. It can also be used as a de-icing agent. It can also be used as a de-icing agent. So these are some of the things that we need to know about this specimen, which is called muriate of potash. It is also used agriculturally to improve crop and soil fertility or health. So this is what we refer to as the muriate of potash. You can see how it looks. This is another example of it when it is more or less powdered. That is what muriate of potash looks like. So moving to the next specimen now, we have our specimen C. Specimen C, which is cow dung. So what is cow dung? Cow dung is actually the fecal matter that is gotten from farm animals or from bovine animals. It is also known as cow parts, cow manure, also known as cow parts, cow manure, is the waste of bovine animals. This include cattle. We have bison, yak, water buffalo, etc. Cow dung is undigested residue of plant matter. Cow dung is the undigested residue of plant matter. Undigested residue of plant matter which has passed through the animal's guts. Which has passed through the animal guts. That is what cow dung is. The resultant fecal matter is rich in minerals. The resultant fecal matter, the resultant fecal matter, the resultant fecal matter is rich in minerals. Is rich in minerals. So what are the uses of this particular dung that we are talking about? Uses of the cow dung. Number one, it is used as fuel. It is used as fuel. Number two, it can be used as fertilizer. Used as fertilizer. Number three, it can be used for floor and wall coating. Used for floor and wall coating. In the olden days, they make use of it to actually coat the walls, make them look beautiful. And number four, it can be used as mosquito repellent. Used as mosquito repellent. And five, also, it can be used, it is also believed to improve interior hygiene. It is believed to improve interior or internal hygiene. Interior hygiene. So these are some of the facts that need to be known about cow dung. So this is what cow dung looks like. You can see the physical, the feces of bovine animals. You can see what it looks like. This is another example of what we are talking about here. That is what cow dung is. You can see that. So that is what cow dung is. The next one I want to talk about now is our specimen D. Specimen D, which happens to be the compost. The compost. So what are we saying about compost? Compost is an organic manure. Is an organic manure. Compost is a mixture of ingredients used as plant fertilizer. Compost is a mixture of ingredients used as plant fertilizer. Used as plant fertilizer, and to improve soil physical, chemical, and biological properties. It is also used to improve soil's chemical, physical, and biological properties. It can be used to actually achieve all of this. It is commonly prepared by decomposing plant and food waste. It is usually prepared by decomposing by recycling organic materials and manure. Recycling organic materials and manure. Organic material and manure. The resultant mixture is rich in plant nutrients. Yes, it is rich in plant nutrients. The resultant mixture is rich in plant nutrients. The resultant mixture is rich in plant nutrients. And then it is beneficial to organisms. Beneficial to organisms and beneficial to organisms, e.g. bacteria, protozoans, beneficial to organisms. Example, we have them being beneficial to bacteria, to protozoans, fungi, etc. What are the benefits of this particular compost? Number one is that it provides nutrients to crop as fertilizer. Benefits or uses. Benefits: it provides nutrients, it provides nutrients to crops. When used as fertilizer. When it is used as fertilizer, it provides nutrients to crop. It acts as a soil conditioner. It acts as soil conditioner. Also, it increases humus or humic acid content of soil. It increases humus or humic acid content of the soil. That is another function of this particular thing. It is it introduces beneficial microbes that help to help to suppress the pathogens in soil and reduces soil bovine diseases. And then it also serves as suitable substitute for chemical or inorganic fertilizer. Let me put that here as well. It serves as a suitable substitute for inorganic fertilizer. And I said earlier that it introduces microbes that help to suppress pathogenic actions. It introduces beneficial microbes. It introduces beneficial microbes that suppress the action of pathogens. Suppress the action of pathogens. So if you want to talk about the materials that are used, materials used in compost making, materials used in compost making, we can have that here. The materials that are used in compost making, either green waste, waste like we have leaves, grasses, food scraps, etc., and brown waste. Let's say woody materials, so to say, and brown waste, which are woody materials, are rich in carbon. They are rich in carbon, that is wood chips. These break down into humus. This breaks down into humus. It breaks down into humus. The decomposition process is aided by shedding the plant matter. The decomposition process is aided by shredding or milling plant matter. By shredding or milling plant matter, adding water and ensuring aeration. Adding water and ensuring aeration, by regularly turning the materials in the mixture, turning the materials in the mixture. So these are the things that we need to know about compost. The materials, sometimes we add ash to compost. We also add some other materials to compost. This is what compost look like. You can see it made from green plants, food scraps and the rest of those, and then it looks like this. When it has started to decompose, this is what it turns out to be. When it starts to decompose, eventually it turns to something like this, which in turn will lead to something that looks like this, and this one is now ready for application to be used as fertilizer. Specimen E now. Specimen E, and that is Cutlass. So what do we have to say about Cutlass. A cutlass usually has a long flat metal blade that is sharpened at one end or one side. Cutlass usually has a long flat metal blade metal blade that is sharpened at one end or by one side. It has wooden, plastic or metal handles. It has wooden, plastic, or let's say rubber or metal handle with which it is held. It is used for cutting or slashing grasses, it is used for cutting or slashing grasses. Also, trees, branches of trees, shrubs, etc. A cutlass can be seen as a short, broad slashing sword. A cutlass can be seen as a short, broad slashing sword. With a straight or slightly curved blade. With a straight or slightly curved blade sharpened on the cutting edge and slightly curved blade sharpened on the cutting edge. Care that can be given to this particular implement or instrument. Care. Number 1, clean off soil clumps. From the metal parts after use. Number 2, oil regularly. To prevent rusting. And actually do this to the cutlass to prevent it from rusting. So this is what cutlass looks like. This is a cutlass. You can see these are sets of cutlasses. You can see like this one here is shorter in size. This one is shorter in size compared to this one, but they all have curved edges, and you can see that one of the side is sharp. That is what cutlasses look like. You can see another picture of what a cutlass is now. So those are cutlasses. The next specimen is our specimen F. specimen F, which is spade. Specimen F, which is spade. This is a tool primarily for digging. This is a tool primarily adopted for digging. This primarily adopted for digging. It consists of a long handle. It has a long handle and blade. It consists of long handle and blade. This is typical with the blade narrower and flatter than the It is flatter than the common shovel, which is pointed at the top. Typically with the blade, this has a long handle and blade. Typically with the blade narrower, the blade is narrower and flatter than the common shovel, narrower and flatter than those of common shovel. I'll show us pictures to express that to us very shortly. I'll show some pictures that can help us to understand that shortly. Common shovel, which is pointed. Common shovel, which is pointed at the head. It is pointed at the top. It is pointed at the top. The care that can be given is as those of the cutlasses. So care now. Okay, let me say this. Early spades were made of riven wood. Early spades were made of riven wood. The early spades were made of riven wood or of animal bones, or of animal bones. Also made with sharper tips of metal. They were also made with sharper tips of metal. Sharper tips of metal. Now the cares as those that were given to, or that are usually given to the cutlasses. So one, clean off soil from blade. 2, periodically. So these are the things that we need to know about the spade, and this is what the spade looks like. So I said I was going to show us the difference between spade and shovel. So if you look at this now, you notice that the spade has even edge. The edge here, they are straight. But when we look at those of shovel, shovel is curved. You can see this one is straight also. This is a spade, but this is a shovel. This one here is a shovel. You can see that the edge is curved. That of shovel has curved edge, while spade has flat edge. So if you are told to differentiate between them, that is what you should be looking out for. Moving to the next specimen now, which is our specimen G. Specimen G, and that is the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. So wheelbarrow is a hand-driven equipment that is used to carry materials. It has its own bucket or a space where it can be used to carry substances. It is a small hand-propelled load-bearing vehicle. Is a small hand-propelled load-bearing small hand-propelled load-bearing vehicle, usually with just one wheel. Usually with a wheel, though we have some of them that have more than one wheel, like I'll show us an example shortly. It is designed to be pushed and guided by a single person. It is designed to be pushed around, to be pushed and guided by a single person, using two hands at the rear, by a single person using both hands, using two hands at the rear. It is used for transporting materials like soil, mulch, and debris over short distances. It is used to transport materials like soil, mulch, and debris from one location to another. Basically, that is what the wheelbarrow is. Now, it employs the system of sharing the load. It employs the system of sharing the weight of the load between the operator and the wheel. of the barrow. What I'm saying here is when the load is placed in the middle and the operator lifts it. Let me show you the picture. This is a picture of a wheelbarrow. Let's assume I place a load here in the barrow and I lift it at this other end here. I will be putting some amount of the weight of the load on the tire while I bear the remaining. So that is how the wheelbarrow is. So this is a bucket that can be used to carry whatever thing we want to carry, and then somebody stands at the back here to propel this particular wheelbarrow, directing it in which direction to go. So this is one picture. This is another one. This one has two tires. This one has two tires. This is also an example of a wheelbarrow. The next specimen is specimen H. Specimen H, which is yam beetle. Specimen H, which is yam beetle. So what do we have to say about specimen H? So quickly, let's start by classifying the organism. It belongs to the kingdom Animalia. The phylum is Arthropoda. The class is Insecta. The order there, we have it to be Coleoptera as well. The family is Scarabaeidae. The genus there, we have it to be the Heterolygous. We have the species to be of two types. We have the Melis and we also have the Apius. Melis and Apius. So scientifically we'll be having them of two types. I will tell us these two very shortly. Number one, we'll be having the Heterolygous Melis. This is the common one, and then we have a second one to be the Heterolygous Apius. So that is how scientific name of these two will be written. This is the major one, and then we have the second one, which is called the minor one. Now, going further, we want to look at the Heterolygous. I said that it is more common in it is called greater yam beetle because it is more common. And then we have the second one, which is the Apius, which is less common, and they are both destructive. Heterozygous Melis, which is the greater yam beetle, and Heterolygous Apius, and Heterolygous Apius, which is seen as a lesser yam beetle, are both destructive. These two are both destructive as they significantly impact yam crops by feeding on them. As they significantly impact on yam, as they impact on yam by feeding on them. The impact on yam crops by feeding on tubers, by feeding on thereby reducing their markets value and potentially causing wilting and death of the plant. And potentially causing wilting and death of the plant. Yes, it can be controlled with the use of pesticide. It can be controlled using suitable pesticide. Can be controlled using suitable pesticide. So this is what the yam beetle looks like. You can see this is what the yam beetle looks like. This is another picture of the yam beetle. You can see. So when it damages yam, this is how the holes will be on the yam. You can see how the yam looks. Our next specimen, which is Cowpea weevil, specimen I. Specimen I is Cowpea weevil. Cowpea weevil. So as usual, let us quickly look at its classification. It is an animal, so the kingdom is Animalia. The phylum is Arthropoda. We have the class to be Insecta. We have the order to be Coleoptera as well. The family now, we have it to be the Chrysomelidae. We have the genus to be Casobrocu. We have the genus to be the Calosobrucus. Calosobrucus, and then the species is Maculatus. Maculatus. So scientifically, it will be written as, we write it as Calosobrucus maculatus. Calosobrucus maculatus. That is the scientific name of this particular specimen, which is our last specimen I. So what do we have to say about it? This species of beetle is a pest of stored legumes. This beetle is a pest that affects stored legumes. It lacks the snout of a true weevil. It lacks the snout of a true weevil. It lacks the snout of a true weevil. It is more elongated in shape than other members of the leaf beetle family. It is more elongated in shape than other members of the leaf beetle family. In shape than other members of leaf beetle family. Yes, a female adult can lay over 100 eggs. A mature female adult can lay up to 100 eggs. Can lay up to 100 eggs. And most of them will hatch. They will hatch. And most of them will hatch. And most of them will hatch. She lays the egg on the surface of the bean, and when the larva emerges about 4 to 8 days later, it burrows into the bean. Eggs are laid on the surface. Eggs are laid on the surface of the bean, and when larva emerges, they burrow into the bean. They burrow into the bean. The beetle tolerates a range of humidity and temperature, making it adaptable in climate. Storage. Control of beetle, of weevil. Control of Cowpea weevil. Enclosed grains in airtight container. Enclose grains in airtight containers. Number 2, apply pesticides when symptoms are seen. So these are some of the things that we need to know about the cowpea weevil. So this is what we are talking about. This is what the cowpea weevil looks like. You can see it. Here is what the cowpea weevil looks like. That's the diagram of the cowpea weevil. This is another picture of it here. You can see what it looks like as well. That is what the cowpea weevil looks like. Our next specimen now is specimen J. Specimen J, which is the Centrosema pubescens. Centrosema pubescens. Centrosema pubescens. You notice that I am putting you notice here now that I wrote the scientific name because that is what we were given. So let us quickly look at its classification. Classification, it belongs to the kingdom Plantae. Phylum, it is a trachyphyte. Class, Angiosperma. Order, Fabales. Family, we have it to be Fabaceae. Genus is Centrosema. That is where the name is gotten from. Centrosema, and the species is pubescens. So that is how we arrived at the name of that particular substance. It is popularly called centro. It is popularly called centro or butterfly pea. Commonly referred to as centro or butterfly pea. Those are the things that they refer to it, to as centro or butterfly pea. Now, it is a legume. It is a legume which is cultivated as forage for livestock. It is a legume cultivated as forage for livestock. That means animals feed on this particular thing. It is a perennial herb that reaches 45 centimeters, about 17.5 inches in height. It is a perennial herb that reaches 45 centimeters or 17.5 inches in height. The leaves are trifoliate. Leaves are trifoliate. Leaves are trifoliate with flowers generally pale. With flowers with flowers to be generally pale violet, with darker violet veins. With darker violet veins. With darker violet veins. Fruit is flat. Its fruit is flat. Fruit is flat, long dark brown pod. Flat in long dark brown. In long dark brown pod containing up to 20 seeds. Containing about 20 seeds. That is what this particular substance is. So like I said, it is used as a forage crop. It is used as forage and source of protein for grazing animal. It is a forage crop used as source of protein to farm animals. Yes, this particular crop is cultivated as cover crop because it suppresses weeds and tolerates drought. It is also planted as cover crops, because it suppresses weed. It suppresses weeds and tolerates drought. Yes, the disadvantage of this particular crop is that it ripens unevenly. Disadvantage now. I've said a few things about the advantages, talking about it being a forage crop and it is being edible to animals. Now, one of the disadvantage or the major disadvantage of the crop is that it ripens unevenly, and this denies mechanical harvest. It ripens unevenly, preventing mechanical harvesting. It is harvested manually by hand. It is harvested manually by hand. That is how this particular crop is. So we understand this now. So this is about the Centrosema pubescens. Let's see what the plant looks like. This is what the Centrosema pubescens look like. We can see that it has a violet color with darker violet veins. You can see that is how the plant looks. You can see it now. So that is the flower of this particular plant. Let us look at some other pictures of it. You can see it here as well. This is how the pod looks. This is how the pod looks. So inside this pod now, inside this pod here, when it is dried and it is split, you find out that it has numerous seeds inside. Seeds that could amount to about 20. Specimen K. And that is spear grass. Spear grass. Let us see its own classification as well, its own binomial classification, so we'll be able to write out its botanical name. So classifying this organism now, we have our K. We have the kingdom to be Plantae. The phylum there is Trachyphyta. Trachyphyta. The class now is Angiosperma. The class is Angiosperma. The order is Rhipalis. The family is Poaceae. We have the genus to be the Heteropogon. Heteropogon. And species now is Contortus. Contortus. So it is going to give us this as its scientific name. We have it to be Heteropogon Contortus. That will be the scientific name of this particular organism, the speargrass, Heteropogon Contortus. That's the scientific name. So what do you want to say about it? It is a tropical perennial crop. It is a valuable tropical perennial crop that is cultivated for its pasture. It is a valuable tropical perennial crop. It is a tropical perennial crop with heights ranging to about 1.8 meters. 1.8 meters. That's about 4 feet. About 4.5 feet. It produces dark seeds. It produces dark seeds with a single long horn. It produces dark seeds with a single long horn at one end, and a sharp spike These are some of the things that you can see about this thing. Now, it is a valuable pasture. It grows into a valuable pasture where you can actually graze your animal. It goes into a valuable pasture. It is used as thatches. Let me put that here. It is used as thatches to roof rural sheds. To roof rural sheds or houses. Yes, it is also used as fodder when young. It is also used as fodder when young. 3. It can also be used for hay or silage. It can also be used for hay or silage. These are some of the things that can be done with this particular plant, which is the spear grass. So this is what the spear grass looks like. You can see this is what the spear grass look like. You can see it has its own then spikes above it. This is another picture that can help us understand what you are saying. This is another picture of spear grass. That's a bunch of it, of the grass is there. You can see that is how the spear grass looks. Our next specimen now is our specimen L. Specimen L, which happens to be gizzard. Gizzard. So we are using the gizzard in chickens. Gizzard in chicken. That is what we are using. So that will quickly bring us to quickly look at what the domestic fowl is. So classification of the domestic fowl now. Kingdom, we have it to be Animalia. And phylum, we have it to be Chordata. We have a class there to be Aves. We have the order to be the Galliformes. The family, we have it to be the Phasianidae. The genus, we have it to be Gallus, and the species is the Domestica. And that is why its own name is written as Gallus Domestica. Gallus Domestica. So what are we going to say about the gizzard? The gizzard, also called ventriculus, also known as ventriculus. Also called ventriculus, is a muscular, thick-walled part of a bed. Is a muscular, thick-walled part of a bird's stomach. Of a bird's stomach. Yes, and it is used for grinding. Stomach used for grinding grains. Used for grinding food. used for grinding food or grains, typically with grits. So what are grits? Grits are sand-like particles. Sand-like particles that are found inside the stomach of the birds. So sand-like particles, the birds or the fowls ingest. The birds ingest. And this accompanies the action of the gizzard. Which accompanies of the gizzard. Knowing this now, we can talk about its nutrients. It is highly proteinous, containing vitamins such as vitamin B12, that is cyanocobalamin, which aids brain health. It is highly proteinous. It is highly proteinous, containing vitamins such as vitamin B12, which aids brain functioning. Vitamin B12 is cyanocobalamin, which aids brain health. That is one function of this. Also, it is rich in zinc, iron, phosphorus, all of which are essential to the body. All of which are very essential to the body. It is low in fat and cholesterol. It is low in fat and cholesterol. So these are the things that we need to know. These are the information that we need to get ourselves familiar with as it concerns the gizzard. The function of the gizzard is basically to meal the food or the grains that is eaten or that has been eaten by the animal, and this is done by the grit that is found inside the ventriculus, which is also called the gizzard. So this is a picture of what the gizzard looks like. This is a picture of the gizzard. You can see that it is muscular in nature. You can see all of this part is the muscular part of the gizzard. And then looking at that now, we have this. we have this. So if you look closely now, you see that there are stones or sandy materials inside. So those stones are the things that help to grind the food that is eaten by the animal. So they are grinded by those stones called grits. And then this is how the gizzard, the whole gizzard, this is how it looks. Next specimen we have now is specimen M. Specimen M, and it is talking about goat skin. Goat skin. So like our usual practice, we will quickly look at the classification of this organism. So talking about its classification now, by the kingdom, it belongs to the kingdom Animalia. Then phylum, it is Chordata. The class, it is a mammal, so Mammalia. The order, it is Artiodactyla. Family, we have it to be Bovidae. The genus, we have it to be Capra. Genus is Capra, and the species is Hecus. So scientifically, this particular organism will be written as Capra Hecus. That is how this particular Capra Hecus. Okay, so now that we have done that, what is this goat skin like? It's gotten from small animals. For in this case here, it's gotten from a goat, and can be used for many purposes. One, it can be eaten as food. It can be eaten as food. Two, it can be converted into leather for various numerous reasons, for numerous functions. Sometimes it can be, when it is converted into leather, it can be used in the production of clothing material or leathery works, like in the case of belts, purses. It can also be used in the production of furniture. For clothing, leathery works, like belts, sandals, furniture, etc. Now, when we look at this, what do we say about this leather? What do we say about leather? Leather is actually made from the tanning of skin. When there is this tanning of skin, we can actually get leather out of it. So leather is a strong, flexible and durable material obtained from the tanning or chemical treatment of animal skin. leather is a strong, flexible, and durable material obtained from the tanning or chemical treatment of animal skin. Obtained from the tanning or chemical treatment of animal skin, which converts it to leather, preventing it from decay. So we have different types of leather, like we have full grain leather, top grain leather, genuine or premium leather, split grain leather, and the rest of those. The manufacturing process of leather manufacturing processes of leather include: 1. We have preparatory stage. 2 is where we have the tanning. 3 is where we have crusting, and in some cases we have the 4th process, which is called the finishing. Yes, so tanning is the conversion, like I said earlier on, the conversion of skin and hide to process leather. That is what tanning is. And then crusting is the process that thins and lubricates leather. So let me just put that here. Tanning is the conversion of into processed leather. And for the second process there, talking about crusting is the thinning and lubrication of leather. Is the thinning process and lubricating processes of leather. So these are the things that we need to know about the skin. So like we said earlier on, that it could be eaten as meat, and it could also be used in the production of leather works. So this is what animal skin looks like. This is what goat skin look like. You can see it. That is what it looks like. You can see the diagram. That is what you can see the diagram. That is what it looks like. This is another diagram of another goat skin. Next specimen now is going to be specimen N. Specimen N, and our specimen N is horn. Specimen N is horn. That is our specimen N. So what is horn? That is what we want to look at right now. So when we talk about horn, Horn is actually a hard permanent outgrowth, often curved and pointed, that is found on the parts of the head of an animal. Okay? A horn is a hard permanent outgrowth, often curved, pointed, and found in pairs, on the head of some animals. Yes, a horn is a hard pointed, we have said that, is a projection on the animal's head, e.g. cattle. Example, the cattle, the goats, deer, etc. Horns are made of keratin and other proteins. Horns are made of keratin and other proteins. They are made of keratin and other proteins surrounding a core of bone. Bones. Yes, they are distinct from another. These horns, they are distinct from the horns of others which are shed and regrowth actually. They are distinct. They are distinct from others, which are often shed, and they regrow annually. So they are often seen on the head of animals. This is what we are talking about here. This is an example of a horn. You can see it. This picture here is an example of a horn that has been actually used it has been used or processed into an instrument, a musical instrument or a horn. So you can see it. So at this part here that has been cut, they blow into it and it brings out sound. You can see it. So this is another example of a horn on an animal. You can see it. This is the animal's head, and then you can see the horn curved. This is what we refer to as the horn. You can see it. So this is the horn. You can see it. So they are different types like that. We have them on different animals. You can see this is another animal with its own horn. You can see its own horn here. You can see it. So they are different types. This is another animal with its own horn. This is another animal here again having its own horn. You can see this as well. So they are different animals, and different animals have different horns. So this is as far as we can come with this tutorial session, talking about the specimen that Waec has released for agricultural science practical for the year 2025. I will encourage us to try as much as possible to go through all of the specimens that have been discussed here again, so as to familiarize yourselves with everything that has been discussed, talking about each of the specimen. I will encourage you to try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel so you get easily notified when subsequent uploads are made. Put on the notification button so you will be notified. Like our content, share them, send them to your friends, let them also benefit from what you are getting. We would love to hear from you, and so we'll be expecting your comments in our comment section. ask those burning questions, and we'll do well to get back to you as quickly as possible. Thank you very much for staying along and tuning with us. We wish you success in your examination. Bye for now.